COVID has obviously impacted the petrochemical industry in many ways. First, and the most obvious, the demand. The pandemic has led to a structural demand drop, I would say on average 10% during Q1, of course, depending on the application market. For example, we've seen a strong demand reduction in industrial and infrastructure markets, but we experienced demand increase for health and medical application, such as mask, glove, but also hand sanitizer, for which demand went up by 1,400% between December 2019 and February 2020. But COVID has also impacted the supply side, with challenges related to production continuity and operating rates. Now, maybe something a little bit less obvious to the eyes, but COVID has impacted the economics of the market quite significantly. During the first quarter of this year, the oil price drop dragged the price of most petrochemical products down. I'm thinking about PP, but it also caused a major feedstock price disruption as naphtha price collapsed by 70% until last May. This immediately caused pressure on non-integrated polyethylene producer and any facilities importing US ethane in Europe or India. So of course, for all the reasons we just mentioned, companies are announcing project delays, and we have experienced a massive drop of capex investment. Finally, I would say then we saw huge volatility on equity markets, with the valuation of many petrochemical producers going down in the first half of the year. So long story short, dealing with COVID has not been an easy task for petrochemical players, with challenges both on the supply and demand side. Right now, the focus is mainly on the human aspects of the crisis, in addition to managing immediate operational disruption. But I believe that soon cost control, operational excellence, and agility in defining go-to-market strategy will become fundamental. We know that some traditional market segments may not be growing anymore, and I believe that we will see a shift in terms of product and grade toward packaging, nutrition, and medical care segment. On top of that, I believe that some players with historical feedstock advantages will struggle to adapt to a low naphtha price environment. Now, if we're looking forward, I believe then we will experience some consolidation in the industry. Some companies will look for long-term opportunities. Globally, stock price in the chemical sector have declined by 13% on average in the period between October 2019 and March 2020. And the M&A market in petrochemical was already stagnating due to peak valuation before the crisis. So I would not be surprised to see some player interested in consolidation in the coming month. Cash-rich company will be able to seize opportunity, potentially through merger and acquisition, act counter-cyclical, and come out stronger. Any company who will not consider long-term objectives such as social and environmental responsibility will make a strategic mistake. A changing consumer behavior is here to stay, even in emerging markets. And moreover, reusing plastic waste could become an important driver of profitability for chemical companies. If you think about it, plastic production requires substantial capital investment and even a substantial carbon footprint. Reusing plastic waste will not only contribute to reduce carbon emission, but also to reduce investment needs. Of course, innovation will be the main enabler of this shift. I'm thinking more specifically about expansion of mechanical recycling volume, and the launch on an industrial scale of new technologies such as chemical recycling and pyrolysis, which is the reprocessing of plastic waste to make liquid feedstock. Of course, moving to a model leveraging plastic waste-based feedstock will represent a major change for this industry. Over the past 2 decades, the petrochemical industry has seen a major part of its profitability growth come from accessing advantaged feedstock. So the ability to recycle plastic waste could be a comparable key to success in the future, with plastic waste potentially becoming the next source of feedstock advantage for polymer production. In this way, companies who do not focus on innovation will suffer from a competitive disadvantage and will most likely not be able to seize opportunity in the coming decade. As previously, the crisis will slow investment and shift focus toward cash reservation and capex discipline. In the next 12 months, new petrochemical capacity addition will be lower, and a lot of projects will be delayed or even potentially cancelled. However, some of the changes we already discussed previously will require long-term significant investment. And I believe the strong focus from end user on sustainability and circular economy will force the end of the petrochemical industry. Investment in growth sustainability were already picking up rapidly before COVID, as the petrochemical sector was looking at greener operation model. And I believe there is no real other way for the petrochemical industry. So even if the importance of plastic circularity is likely to slip down the priority order in the coming months due to low oil price, I believe that beyond 8 months, we should see once again a substantial increase in terms of investment, especially in circular economy. Low oil price make recycling economic harder, but navigating a current health crisis offers a frequent reminder of the critical role petrochemicals and particularly plastic play in our daily life. I'm specifically thinking about the mask and glove and protective frontline healthcare provider. Much of the value of those products is derived from the fact that they can be discarded after one use to avoid contamination. However, how do we deal with the recycling? Whoever will come with an innovative solution to collect and recycle plastic used for sanitary and medical application will become de facto a leader, especially in emerging markets. Of course, I'm thinking of chemical recycling. Breaking used plastic all the way down to their fundamental monomer will offer a wide range of possibilities for reuse. But what about pyrolysis, which we already mentioned? Can we do it in an environmentally friendly process? And what about recycling face mask into black steel? In a nutshell, any innovative process to collect sanitary equipment and recycle them locally, for example, in India, will be a great contribution to the circular economy.